Hey everyone, it's Pokeprof back once again with Let's Play Mega Man X. When we last left off, we had beat the first of Sigma stages, and we are now going in to defeat the rest and eventually Sigma himself. Get revenge on him for poor dear Zero, who we lost in the last stage. Now, one thing I want to say that was always really interesting to me when it came to the Mega Man games was that in most of the Mega Man games, when you went and did the boss rush towards the end of the game, you actually went and did a true boss rush, as in you went into this little chamber and had to go and defeat a bunch of the bosses all in a row. As you already seen here in Mega Man X, it actually works a tad differently. Instead, you actually be able to go and fight them just as you go throughout the stage. It's a little bit more of a natural feel, I find. Matter of fact, I think we got one coming up right now. Ah, yes! As a matter of fact, you should be able to recognize who it is simply by the top of the screen. Chill Penguin here, who we never really get to see his weakness. What's really fun is just to get to see him get coated in flames. Now it's here when I was starting to do a test when I first played this game. Because you see it's like what, 3-4 points of damage if you go and hit him with the fire thing. Which is technically his weakness. Now watch what happens when I go and power up Mega Man to his most powerful. Mega Buster does just as much, if not more. Matter of fact, I think that power-up for the Mega Buster does more than his weakness does. And this turns out to be the case for almost all the Robot Masters slash Mavericks. I'm still calling them Robot Masters because that's what they're really known throughout the Mega Man series. X just happens to be a little bit different. So when I figured that out, I was like, oh hey, so a Buster Run's not that hard because you're already hitting them for just about what their weakness would be hitting them. The only real difference in the case is some of these bosses being, you know, non-existent in terms of their strength if you hit them with their weaknesses. Like good old Spark Mandrill. But yeah. Just made it... I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. But in the end, it just made it for some... It just made me go like, oh hey, I could actually legitimately do a run where I can go and do Buster only. Alright, let's get our shield back up. Because it makes some of these points of these levels so much easier to deal with. I honestly never understood why they actually gave you different options for where you could go there. I don't know. But this, you should recognize. Open area, it's gonna be Storm Eagle. Now, out of all the bosses, Storm Eagle's defense is the one that never made any sense to me. It's like, so your weakness is a chameleon? It's like, it's not even the power-upped version's all that good. It's like, you're just going and smacking him with a chameleon sting. I don't know. I mean, it makes Storm Eagle a little bit easier comparing to Mega Bustering him all day long, but he's always the weakness thing I never got. Oh well. I'm getting to the point where I'm just abusing Rolling Shield. When I first found out that Rolling Shield destroys the little wheel dudes without any issue, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna never give up Rolling Shield now. Just makes things so much easier. Now, who's next? Is it another Robot Master, or is it the actual final boss? Are we actually to the final boss? No, we can't be. Oh, we are! Holy crap. So yeah, I actually forget the name of this boss. It actually has this really weird name. But his whole mechanic is, well, he's in 3 parts. He's got his nose and his 2 eyes. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, his weakness here is, believe it or not, Chameleon Sting. For at least some parts of him. This is also the part where I'll most likely lose a lot of my health. Oh, well, Chameleon Sting seems to be doing a job. Also, don't touch those spikes that look to be his teeth at the very bottom. They will insta-kill ya. Which makes it to where you're basically just trying your best to survive by bouncing up and down on his... Oh, crap. I honestly never killed his nose before I killed both of his eyes. I didn't know that it stuck like that to where the walls stayed closed in. Makes that level to be a little more irritating than I thought. But with that said, we go immediately into the next Sigma stage. The 3rd of 4, I want to say? And immediately get more turtles. Nuh-uh, I am not going to deal with turtles. I'm going to immediately kill the turtles. And end up fighting Armored Armadillo. So let's go ahead and go over to the Electronic Spark. And immediately miss him, and now we get him this time. Actually, I'm going to test it out, because I've never tried it. Powered up version of... Yeah, that's what I thought. In most cases, while it's really cool that they give you the ability to power up all of your powers that you've stolen from the Robot Masters, there's very, very few instances in which it's actually useful against, like, a boss. It's better just to spam your ability as is. With that said, Armored Armadillo is down. I think we only have like... We've killed at least 4 of the Mavericks, I want to say. Are we actually already at the next one? Well, let's get the health and find out. Yep, here we go. Let's get Boomerang Cutter out. Yeah, that's right. They stuck almost all of the remaining Mavericks, like, right next to each other. The cool thing is, though, is that we actually, with Boomerang Cutter, I can show off, and the fact that we're doing the whole... you know, boss rush. I got to actually show off, you know, what Boomerang Cutter actually does to some of the other Robot Masters. Actually, is there another Mega Man game that has actually done that, where one ability will affect a bunch of bosses in a different way? Because it's been a while since I played Mega Man X2, and I'm almost certain they did not do that in X3. Because X3 is probably the one I know best outside of X2. So let's go ahead and get Boomerang Coinger's weapon again. And a little bit of energy and some health. And this should be... Spark Mandrill. Let's just cheesy again. Crack. 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 This is why this guy is so freaking easy. I was actually honestly tempted to just Hadouken him because, well, He's the easiest of the bosses in the freaking game. You literally don't have to move if you time your shotgun ices right. Now I immediately know who we're fighting next. Only one boss in the entire game actually required you to be underwater. Does that little fish actually do damage to me? Hang on. Yes, he does! Oh, I never knew that. I thought those guys were just an annoyance. I didn't know they actually did damage to you. Learn something new every day, I guess. Ah, come on. Go away, you. Thank you. I want to go up here and get powered up. No! Go away, you stupid fishes. Alright, let's go back to Boomerang Cutter's power. And I finally get to show off what it looks like when you use it against Launch Octopus. Now, no, as you can see, it's not doing that much damage, but you do it enough times. That's if Launch here stops going into frickin' jerk mode. Because he's actually invulnerable in that mode. There. There we go. And he loses his tentacles, so he can no longer do his little jerk boss thingy. He's still annoying as all hell because, well, he spams his torpedoes all the time without his little spinning ability. And as you can see, it's not exactly easy to time it correctly. Actually, running out of frickin' rolling shield here. I've got 1 point of rolling shield left, so if I find any energy power-ups, I need to put it in rolling shield. Actually, I don't think I desperately need it, because I actually forget what the final boss is weak to, actually. It's been a while since I've actually gotten this far in X1. Cheesing, yes, I'm cheesing this. Ah, here we go. Flame Mammoth's next. So let's get Cutter out again. And it's going to be the same thing with Launch Octopus that with Flame Mammoth here. Boomerang Cutters weapon won't actually do a lot of damage to him, but it will do a little unique thing. It cuts off his trunk, so he can no longer throw his little goopy oil bubbles at us. Now, in all retrospect, that's probably not the most deadly of Flame Mammoth's abilities, but it's still a little interesting thing. It's something that they put into the game that they didn't need to, and I just kind of love little details like that. Kind of wish more games would do that. And one more hit should do you in, sir. You look like a pig without your trunk. And I think you are the last one we needed to fight before we fight the final boss. Alright, let's go ahead and get this. Ooh. Am I right? Yep. Oh, you. Shoot. I'm going to be using this right off the bat. Because if my memory serves me correctly, this guy is a butt and a half to fight. Ooh. If he actually gets you in the right animation, you are instantly dead. But his weakness is Boomerang Cutters weapon, which makes the Rolling Cutter, I believe it's actually called, to be one of the more useful abilities in the game. But this guy I have the most trouble on. I'm going to be using it. You know, no. I was almost tempted to use another energy tank there. I have the absolute most trouble with this guy, more than any other boss in the game. As you can see, I almost died there, and I used a freaking energy tank at the beginning of a fight. But with all said and done, we get one more password, and I believe we go and fight Sigma proper next time. Until then, folks.